Hey there, boys and girls. So we're going to talk today about buying new construction housing and whether it's a great deal. And I'm going to tell you, I think it is. We're going to go through some reasons why. Let's get started. And to hang around to the end, I'll take you to a link that I think you'll find really, really helpful when it comes to going to buy a new house and working with a builder. Number one, why in the world would you buy new construction right now? Aren't prices crazy? Isn't interest rate too high? Well, let me tell you. Yeah, I'll buy any house right now if I'm going to buy a house the next 5 years because I can get it at a cheaper price now and later I can refinance if I have to. But that's not why I think you ought to buy a new house. Let me tell you why you ought to buy a new house. One, inventory. Inventory. There's lots of inventory right now. All these builders out here, whether it be in town here in Houston or whether it be out in the burbs like Woodlands or Rosenberg or Richmond or Cross Creek and Fulshire out on the east side, I just got to tell you, they have inventory, and there's a reason why. Everybody thought interest rates were going to go down in the fall, and everybody figured that November, December, January, February would be great sales months. So they started all these houses, and now those houses, some of them are finished, some of them are 60 to 90 days away from being finished, and they don't have the buyers they thought. They thought they were going to have 4 to 5 buyers a month. So they put 25 houses on the ground. And guess what? They've only sold 4 or 5, which means they've got 20 houses sitting there for somebody else to buy. Either they're finished, which you'll get a better deal on, or they're soon to be finished, which you'll get a pretty good deal on. But you know what? Right now, they'll even take somebody buying a lot and building from scratch. 2, after inventory is the thing called incentives. Incentives for choosing your finishes if you're choosing something that still has finishes. I just saw a $35,000 allowance be negotiated to $50,000. I sat at the table and I said, look, there's no way they're going to be able to choose what they want for $35,000. And we were able to negotiate up to $50,000. They just finished making their selections for their house. And guess what? They didn't have to bring any extra money to the table. That $50,000 meant they had the floor they wanted, the fireplace they wanted, the cabinets they wanted, the countertops they wanted, the extra little paint in the extra room that they just didn't want to do themselves. They were able to get some things like that. Right now, if there's any homes out there that have selections and they still have part of the budget for you to choose from just maybe countertops and that's it, you can get some great incentives to be sure that you get what you want in a home. In a year from now, don't think that's going to be the case. If they've got a $30,000 allowance for selections, it's going to be $30,000. But right now, there's plenty of room. Third thing, when it comes to new construction right now, you need to be thinking about new construction because not only are they giving incentives for choices and selections, you may not have those, but man, they have some fantastic incentives on closing costs. When you go to buy a new home or a resale home for that matter, there's always going to be extra fees. You got to pay some taxes, you got to pay some insurance, you got closing costs. When you buy a new house, you got a title policy. And right now, I had never seen builders give more on incentives for closing costs than right now. Next reason why you ought to buy is, and this is not the most important, so we got more to go, but this one, price. Price, yes. Last summer, everybody raised prices thinking that demand in the fall was going to be high. And so prices have been kind of higher than they've been in a long time. But guess what? There's not any demand. They've got houses they've got to sell. They've got lots they've committed to buying the next spring to already build on. So they need to reduce prices. Let me show you right here. I got a price sheet. Reduction, reduction, reduction. The very best one is, let's see, close to $40,000 off of a $400,000 price. There's some more on here that are $5,000 or $6,000. There's others that I've seen out there. I've seen an $80,000 discount on a $600,000 house, and I've seen a $50,000 house from a really, really great builder that builds a really nice product that you wouldn't think is entry level. They're $375 way out in the burbs, and they were able to get that house for $320 and have all the closing cost incentives as well. Right now, prices are falling if you're willing to buy something that's on the ground or going to be completed in the next 60 to 80 days. You don't have to walk in and beg. They want to work with you. I'm not seeing this in a long, long time. Probably last time was 2008 to 2010 when we had a big financial crisis. Ever since then, pretty much what you see is what you get. Do I think this is going to last a long time? No. It's only going to last until this inventory is gone. Right now, interest rates on brand new construction from the builders who are building it are incredible. Let's look at it this way. I think, with all my 20 years of experience, that in the next 5 to 8 months, we're going to see interest rates drop. They're going to get down to 5.65 instead of the 6.5 or 6.25 or 7.25 they are now. Someplace between a point and a half a point over the next 6 months. But I do not see interest rates getting below 5.65. I just don't. But you know what? Right now, if you come to me and say, I want to build new construction in the suburbs, I want to build new construction in town, I can find you wonderful builders, great floor plans that are willing to help you get into a loan through their preferred lender for 5.25%. Or get this, there's one national builder out there right now, 4%. 4%. One of them is 4% for the first year and then 5% for the remainder of the year. The other one is 4% if you're a veteran for the full 30 years of the loan. So now is the time to buy. There's this window where there's inventory, there are incentive upon incentive upon incentive and price drops, and then the interest rate. Why would you wait for prices to go up 10% over the next year and for interest rates to come down to 5.75 when you can buy right now at a price that's 10% less and get an interest rate that's probably a 1 percentage point less than you can get anywhere else? Now is the time to buy new construction. If you want to know about buying new construction and how a realtor can help and why it is important to have one with you when you go looking the very first time, find the link below in my description. I've got a little cheat sheet there that'll tell you a little bit about why you want a realtor. You may think going in with a realtor is going to save you money. No, they don't pay you to bring people, but they do pay realtors, and they'll pay your realtor, but they're not going to give you that money off the discount because they've already built that into their cost structure and they know they can keep it for themselves. After all, the guy who's sitting there or the lady who's sitting there to sell you a home in the builder's office, they're not there for you. They're there for the builder. They may be wonderful, honest, and good people, but they don't represent you. If you want the best deal while this window is open, while you can walk through this door of value and low interest rates and great incentives, then you need to get a realtor. And you need to take them with you the very first time so that you don't get stuck finding a house you love and they tell you you didn't bring your realtor, so you can't have one. Don't go in unrepresented, even when it's a great deal. Take somebody with you. Check out my link below. Thanks for stopping in today. Appreciate it.